Well, if you stop any person on the street, including children, and ask them what causes heart disease, they'll tell you that it's eating eggs and eating butter and eating fat. This issue is considered a closed issue now. Everybody knows the answer. We know what causes heart disease, so there's no point to even research it, and there's no point to even ask questions about it. Children are taught from this age at school. They know the word cholesterol. It's quite a complicated chemical word, and children already know it from a very young age. And they know the words saturated fats, and they know that those are evil, and you must avoid them.
Cholesterol is used in large quantities 24 hours a day for the whole of our lives in building and repairing cells. It's used to make hormones, it's used to make bile acids with which we digest fats, a whole range of things, including vitamin D.
So where does this idea come from? Humankind existed on this planet for eons, and for eons we prized the fatty foods, the fatty cuts of meat, the cream on the milk, the butter, the eggs, and the oily fish. In all traditional societies, wherever you go around the world where they didn't have our civilized propaganda, they prize the fattier parts of animal more, and they give them to people whom they respect, to their leaders, to their warriors, to people who are recovering from chronic illness, to pregnant women, and to couples who want to conceive and to growing children. The fattier, the better. So for millions of years, humankind prized fats and loved fats and relied on them. And only in the last few decades we suddenly changed our mind.
People have suggested for years and years that saturated fat in a diet raises your cholesterol level and causes heart disease. Where does that evidence come from? It doesn't come from anywhere. When you look at it, it doesn't exist.
There is a lot more evidence which suggests that having a low cholesterol level is harmful. It increases the risk of quite a number of diseases, including the overall death rate. You're more likely to die earlier if you have a low cholesterol level. You're more likely to contract infectious diseases. You're more likely to get cancer. You're more likely to get Alzheimer's.
And then if you look around and you can look at study after study, there is no correlation. I was looking through the World Health Organization study monitoring trends in heart disease, in cardiovascular disease, which has been going on for many years, which is a high-powered study. I was looking at Lithuania, where they have consumption of saturated fat of 7.7%, which is actually very low. Their cholesterol level on average is 6. And then I looked at France, and their average consumption of saturated fat is 15.5%. That's the highest in Europe. I don't think it's the highest in the world, but it's close to it. And their cholesterol level was 5.9. And it would also be of note to say that the rate of heart disease in France for men under the age of 65 is 24 per 100,000 per year, and in Lithuania it's 200 per 100,000 per year. So none of this fits together or makes any kind of sense at all. And the evidence, once you start looking at it, does not exist. It's just not there.
Every year, an estimated 40 million people take statins to lower their cholesterol. There has to be a good reason, right? There are 29 billion reasons. $29 billion reasons to lie about cholesterol.